It's your boy Prescription, man. PrivateHipHop.com, Private Hip Hop Podcast, man. We out here in Houston, Texas, man, and we couldn't have came to Houston, Texas without checking in with the next person, man. Super talented, man. Richelle Gemini in the building. How you doing?
I'm doing well, love. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, hey, I appreciate you coming through. We definitely overdue for a link. I've crossed your path numerous times in numerous cities. I've seen you in Houston, Austin, Dallas, I think, and every place. Hosting skills amazing. When you perform, the music is amazing.
Thank you.
And you're definitely being super consistent and super busy right now. So
come on now,
we had to come tap in.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. For the people that don't know, even though it's on the screen, tell them where they can follow you at real quick.
You can follow me at Richelle Gemini on all platforms. RichelleGemini.me on my website. And it's everything. Like I said, Richelle Gemini, Patreon, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, all of those things.
Yeah, she said Patreon. Dang, I need to get on that. I ain't on Patreon.
I have a class on there called Own Your Stage. Because through the hosting, I get a lot of people that ask me about different stuff like, how do you do this? Or how would you think my performance was? And I was just like, go to my thing because I got a couple of tips that I can give you, but I can give you all the tips on there.
Awesome. Is performance something that you got into yourself, or were you in school for a performance, or
my parents had me performing in the church since I was 3 years old, so constantly performing. Then I was in ballet starting at 5, and then like I was talking to her earlier, I was in tennis, so I was constantly in front of things and competitive with it, but still kept my character in all spaces and all time. So it's in pageants, all that good stuff. So I did take theater classes as well from Page Parks. I don't know if you know the agency. It's the agency out here. I did modeling classes with them, acting classes with them. I went to University of North Texas where I also was a part of a couple of organizations that was with theater, broadcasting, broadcast journalism, and
I'm all about some broadcasting.
Yeah, no, for real. No, I was the weather girl out there in Denton.
Nah, for real?
Yes. And that's how I figured out I did not want to be a broadcast journalist. I enjoyed it. I just knew that I couldn't be biased. Yeah. So, I wanted to show my personality, and I found myself. And now, I do it through my art. So I'm still able to, give you some news, but in the way I want to.
Yeah, well, if somebody's not subscribed to your Patreon, if you had one tip for somebody that performs, what do you feel like is the number one thing that people kind of slack on when they get up there and perform?
Look at people in their eyes.
Man, that's hard sometimes.
I know.
So you gotta get past that.
Yes, the connection is necessary.
Facts,
because once you connect with them, then they're like, oh, wait, I think they just looked at me. Oh, wow, let me hear what they're saying. Like, there's a certain thing. Like, just imagine me right now doing an interview like this. Yeah, everybody wants to feel that connection. So you want to connect with your eyes. I tell people, unless you're her, like her, the singer, and you're supposed to wear sunglasses all the time, and you're about to start a sunglass line, then you can wear sunglasses. If you're not, let me see them eyes.
I can dig it. I feel like that's something that you got to get through with experience. You got to get comfortable with. And even myself, I've been performing a long time, and there's sometimes that I get up there and I find myself mid-performance like, man, hold on, I got to look at some people. Like, I catch myself, you know what I mean? You got to be mindful of it because it does make a difference.
Yes, it does. And try not to get too lit. You know your tolerance. Try not to get too lifted and too lit, too, before your performance. Because you want to give it's a gift.
Yeah, not facts.
And I think people forget it's a gift because they be looking for the return so fast. Yeah. Like, take pride in your gift.
Yeah, I had a gig in San Antonio recently. Shout out Loud City Society, and it was a hosting gig. But after the show, they asked me, "How come you didn't perform?" I was like, "Damn, the motherfucking drinks was hitting."
Right.
I don't think I was in there trying to remember my lyrics. I was like, "Nah, we're not gonna do it today. We're not gonna do it today."
Right.
And I was like, "Damn, if I would have been on the schedule to perform, I wouldn't have drank." You know what I mean? But I was like, "Oh, I'm hosting."
Right. I can just feel the vibe.
Nah, I was like, "Well, I'm finna perform." I'm like, wait a minute.
I can't do that one.
Nah, big facts. Well, man, I want to tap in with you, man. We got you at the event tomorrow, the H-Town kickoff, man.
It's going down.
So y'all make sure if you ain't did it yet, go get the tickets. You know what I'm saying? They free RSVP. You know what I'm saying? But I see you everywhere right now. You're super busy. I mean, I don't know. This past weekend, you had multiple shows every day.
I did.
You had multiple shows every day?
I did. I had shows at the Miller Outdoor Theater. I had 2 shows out there through the ensemble because I helped co-write on the play, Jack and the Beanstalk, the hip-hop version. Okay. And I played a mom, and I'm rapping. Of course, I wrote the raps.
Nice.
Jack's rapping, the Giants rapping.
Okay.
And it was family-friendly, fun, all that good stuff. And then I did something called the Shoe Jam on the 18th, like right after the Miller Outdoor that night. And that was a vibe. That was with a band. Yeah. And I did poetry, and I sang. It was a neo-soul vibe. Yeah. They had the complimentary drinks, and they had the food.
You gotta be careful.
It was a moment. It was a moment. And then I performed on my birthday. I did the Museum of Fine Arts.
It was just your birthday, right?
It was just my birthday last Friday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So we've been on a little
Oh,
run.
so you still celebrating your birthday? You on a birthday run?
I know.
She on a birthday
and
tour.
tomorrow is the last. Well, really, today is the last day of Gemini, but tomorrow I'm closing out Gemini season.
Okay, we're gonna
with
close
y'all.
it out right. We're gonna close it out right. Yeah. So speaking of Gemini, and I said earlier, we was talking about the raw session consistency. You was telling me about this project you got coming out.
Yes, I have a project coming out. It's my musical project. It's called Consistency. And, you know, people always ask me, too, as an artist, like, what makes you keep going or what makes you... And I was just like, well, I've always seen it in my lifetime with my family. Whatever they wanted to do, they practice consistency. And sometimes people think that it's just supposed to be like that. But it might be... But it's up to you to stay consistent and know the vision. Yeah. And sometimes you have to know that door closed was actually a blessing. Because sometimes we get so mad at doors closing that you be like, oh, so focused on it to the point where you don't even see that it's a huger door right down the street that's just like, come over here. We actually value you.
Big facts.
So,
big facts.
yeah.
Nah, big facts, big facts.
And I want to inspire a lot of artists and, you know, not only artists, but my whole audience just to stay consistent. If you're a plumber, like, stay consistent in whatever you do.
Facts,
like, we need you.
That's how you hone your craft.
Yeah.
What do you say is one of the biggest roadblocks people run into when it comes to consistency?
Not understanding your business. Okay. If you don't understand, like a lot of artists, they're not aware, and some of them can't afford, like maybe a lawyer to make sure your contracts are good, make sure your business is good, make sure your merch is coming through your LLC, making sure you're not touching the money personally. Not only that, understanding how to get your stuff synced, understanding how to get your music in the right hands with the right people, understanding which platforms can actually help you start touring. Like I told you, I was going to be touring. Shout out to Sofar Sounds. And
so education.
Education. And not only that, knowing all the spaces where you can receive money after you put your music out, like Sound Exchange, your MLC, making sure I'm hoping at least you had your BMI or ASCAP, but a lot of people don't know. They just start creating and they think I'm just going to get money through TuneCore or DistroKid or whatever they're using. And I'm just like, no, there's all types of spaces where you should be getting your money from. Harry Fox, that's if your music is on a TV show or a music video or a movie. So you have to know these things. And
MLC, you gotta, you know
all of those, all of those. So it's different spaces and different things that you need to know. But I feel like maybe in Texas we haven't been taught as much. But I'm learning through. I learned through the Grammy chapter. The Grammy chapter gave me a lot. Shout out to the Texas Grammy chapter. They've given me a lot of education.
I'm trying to get in there. I'm trying to get in the Texas Grammy chapter. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put where I got to put an application in.
No, for real. No, I mean I've already put in my 2 for this year, but that's literally all it is. It's just people nominating you to be in it. I got pulled in 2021 for my spoken word. And I don't even know the people who put me in, but I thought it was fake whenever they hit me up. And I was just like, this is a scam. And then I realized.
I know quite a few people in it. It's a good program.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's great. Try Grammy U. Yeah. You should try Grammy U. That's the university. Okay. Like, and they guide you in, because once you go through Grammy U, then I think they show you and let you understand how you could become an actual voting member and become part of the actual chapter.
All right, well, I'm finna do that as soon as we get off of this. That's the number one thing I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, one thing I did want to talk to you about too, man, before we get out of here, is you got I don't know what you would call it. Would you call it a play, a Broadway?
I do have a play.
The plug? You know
yes, waiting on the plug.
Waiting on the plug.
On Tubi.
I gotta go see it. Oh, it's on Tubi?
It's on Tubi. I got it filmed.
I
got it filmed. Shout out to Pirate. He's my co-director. Okay. I wrote it. I directed it. And I had first made the actual soundtrack first, and it's called Weed Hymns, and it's on Bandcamp, where I remixed a whole bunch of gospel songs, like "Bring That Weed, No Reggie, Pull Up on Me," and he was just like, "What do you want to do with this track? I've been listening to it. I've been laughing my ass off." I was like, "Okay, let's do a couple of little visuals," and he was like, "No, you should do a play," because the whole thing is like in order of him waiting on the plug and him just being late. So
I see some clips on. I think it was your Instagram.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. Yeah. So instead of doing the visuals, I was just like, okay, give me a month or so to write this play, and I wrote it in 2022, and that was in June, and by November we had our first show. I did the casting and everything, and the whole cast is just amazing. We got instead of a praise dancer, we got a haze dancer. We got Deacon Doobie, and what happens is the main character falls asleep back in the day watching BET Uncut, waiting for the plug. Okay. BET Uncut would turn into church out of nowhere. You hear the pastor, and he kind of wakes up, then he goes back to sleep, and we're in his dream of him here in church, waiting on the plug. Yeah. And I'm the pastor instead of the pastor. And shout out to Shanar Butler, PMC's wife. She's she's also my assistant pastor.
Okay.
And she be telling you, smoke some, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So we have a good time. Instead of amen, we say, hey, Graham.
Yeah. I remember that. Hey, Graham. Hey, Graham.
Hey, Graham.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In that, you say a bunch of those gospel songs you remade, this, that, and the third. I know from... personally, like, my song Trunk Sang with Charlie Boy is kind of a reference to some gospel song, and shout out my boy Quay. He got a song with Big X Plus, kind of a reference to a gospel song. Yeah. You ever get any like pushback from that on that side?
I have not got any pushback because again, I put it out on Bandcamp for free. Yeah. So that right there was that, and then I was just like, if we do get pushback, that means it's reached a very high level and a high moment. So most of the preachers that's heard it, they've laughed themselves off and they've been like, Richelle, you so creative. I can't be mad because you're like in dude's dream. It's not like you're mocking church, but you know church very well. So you really cultivated a whole cannabis church.
I definitely got to go on Tubi.
You got to on Tubi to watch it. I got to see it
in its entirety. All I've seen is clips. I got to go watch it.
You got to watch it. Roll you one. The Reggie is a lie. Yeah. That's what I want you to know.
Stop smoking Reggie. Shout out my boy Black Skin in Seattle. Stop smoking Reggie, y'all. Stop it. Stop it.
Quit. Get saved right now. Call 1-800. Get them. No, just joking.
I thought she had the info. I was gonna call the number. Nah, hey, like I say in Houston, man, we had to come tap in with you, man. Super dope. I'm really looking forward to seeing you perform tomorrow.
Yes.
I know you finna kill it. Finna kill it.
Check out me and my son's song too. It's on a Grammy-nominated album this year. Me and my son was on a Grammy-nominated children's album of the year. Taste the Sky. Our song is called Curiosity. So add Grammy-nominated up in there too. I forget, and I have to remind myself. And we just performed at the Miller Outdoor Theater the song with the actual artist, his album.
How old is your son?
Oh, he's 10.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Start him early.
He's very just like, he knows himself. So as he gets on and he does certain things, it'd be so funny because he'd be like, that's what's supposed to happen, right? Because you're part of the chapter. So you should get Grammy nominated because you're a good artist and a rapper, and I'm a good rapper. And I'm just like, well, you're right. My bad.
Facts.
Looking lower of myself for a second.
Facts. Yeah.
He'd be shocked. Like he'd be looking at me like, why are you shocked?
Yeah, man, you need that outlook. You gotta keep that mind state.
I know. He's like that.
He on to something. On to something. Well, PrivateHipHop.com, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all day. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna chop it up tomorrow some more. PrivateHipHop.com, y'all make sure and go and check out. We got some content from Richelle, and we gotta get you in Waco. We gotta do like a full hour long interview. You got too much stuff to talk about.
We're gonna go to Waco.
You got way too much stuff to talk about.
I got a lot. I have so many stories. Yeah, this crazy story.
I gotta get Mary Jane over here, and we gotta have a long conversation. But,
indubitably.
Before we get out of here, kick some shout outs. Tell them whatever you want. What you got coming, where to follow you at, any of that stuff, man. You're gonna pop your shit real quick.
Just make sure you follow me at Richelle, RICHELLEGEMINI on all platforms. I have so many things dropping. I just dropped on my birthday a jewelry line full of crystals.
Come on, man. How many hustles does she have?
These are centering crystals, and centering crystals are for your abundance, okay? And it's called the Abundant Line. Okay. And I don't want you to just shine, but I want you to attract your abundance to you. You know, some people just be wearing chains full of diamonds. I'd be like, that's cute. But there's certain crystals that do certain things, like rose quartz for your self-love. And citrine has always been a great manifestation crystal to me. So I wanted to give it to any person that follows me or anybody that's a fan of me. Please purchase. It's made by Intentional Jewelry Shop. We did a collaboration. It's called The Abundant Line. Of course, the link in the bio and all that good stuff.
She on top of her business, man.
She
on top of her business,
Come on now.
Hey, well, I really appreciate you for sure. I'm looking forward to this project. You got to send it to us when you get it so we can do some plays of the days. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. But yeah, just like that, man. Y'all make sure to tap in, subscribe to the channel, Private Hip Hop Podcast, man, privatehip-hop.com, and go follow Richelle, man. Peace.